Hello, it's good to have you back on another edition of Culture Mosaic. Now, apart from the vibrant culture events that stirred up the local culture scene over the past week, in this edition, we'll give you an insight into the traditional art of silk painting in modern time. We also have a chance to talk to a popular Israeli dance group named Hallelujah as they're about to rock the stage at Hui's festival. Well, let's not wait any longer. Here's a recap of what we have in store for you. The vitality of silk painting in contemporary arts. Hallelujah dance group brings spirit of Israel to Vietnam. And little board games gain increasing popularity in Vietnam. Now let's start off with some of the most outstanding culture events of the past week. The Hue Festival is among the most anticipated events in this tranquil city. At this special event, there are many typical features, but the áo dài is always considered a highlight. Now, for various reasons, the áo dài has still left a lasting impression on visitors at the festival and become the pride of Hue residents. Now, in this 9th Hue Festival, the áo dài is the image that conveys the culture, traditional crafts, and arts industries of Hue to visitors.
In the 9th Hue Festival, the image of the áo dài won't still be a highlight. However, another outstanding point is Vietnamese calligraphy, a unique culture of Hue, which has been drawn on the new áo dài style for men. This combination is considered a way to promote and honor calligraphy, a typical culture of Vietnamese people.
Đây cũng là lần đầu tiên thử nghiệm. Lần này là mình sử dụng những họa tiết, những hình ảnh kết trúc vì đây là áo dài nam. Cho nên thể hiện sự đứng quân tử, kết trúc ngay thẳng và kết hợp vào những câu thơ về xứ Huế và muốn truyền tải cho mọi người về những cái nét đẹp, những thắng cảnh, những cái đi vào thơ ca ngày xưa và bây giờ của Huế.
Hundreds of áo dài in Huế will still be showcased at the festival. Among them, 3 new collections by Viet Bảo are expected to attract more visitors, including Đùng Đình Đùng Đằng, Việt Nam Gấm Hoa, and Về Miền Hương Ngư.
Thông điệp mà Viet Bảo muốn gửi đến du khách đó là cũng đến Huế không chỉ có áo dài mà Huế còn có những cái ngành nghề khác rất truyền thống và du khách cũng nên biết, như đó những cái ngành nghề như là thêu tay hay là những ngành nghề về chạm gỗ, hoặc các thông qua ngôn ngữ áo dài để mà có thể Viet Bảo có thể truyền tải đến những cái vẻ đẹp của những ngành nghệ thuật khác, chẳng hạn như là vẻ đẹp của những cái đồ sứ kỳ kiệu.
The festival also carries the message for humanity by using patterns of poor children on their children's áo dài. With the participation of more than 10 designers from 3 regions of Vietnam, including North, Central, and South, the Áo dài Festival 2016 promises to bring many diverse styles which will promote the cultural beauty of Huế.
Now, a lantern floating ceremony was held on the local Hương River on last Monday, 4 days before the opening ceremony of this year's Hue Festival. Now, held to promote ASEAN unity, this year's event attracted 150 participants from Thailand, Singapore, Laos, and Vietnam. Along the riverside, participants dropped their lanterns into the river and wished for peace and solidarity of ASEAN community. The ceremony was a simple but symbolic way of welcoming the establishment of the ASEAN community. The event was part of the opening activities for many light festivals which will take place during the Hue Festival. In its return to Vietnam, the famous Jade Buddha for Universal Peace was exhibited at Hoàng Phúc Pagoda in the central province of Quảng Bình and Hồng Phúc Pagoda in Hải Phòng City. Now, since Friday, it has been displayed at Bai Ding Pagoda in Ninh Bình Province and will remain until May the 6th for people to revere and pray for peace and happiness. Thousands of people have flocked to the pagoda on the first day. At 2.7 meters high and weighing 4 tons, the Buddha statue is the largest of its kind in the world and sits on an alabaster throne that is 1.4 meters tall. Since 2009, the Jade Buddha has been exhibited around the world for everyone to admire and to take a moment to reflect upon peace. After revisiting Vietnam, the Buddha will be permanently displayed in Australia. Thousands of people have joined the Cherry Blossom Festival that is being held for the first time in the southern province of Dong Nai. Now, 70 cherry trees and 5,000 blossom branches have been transported from Japan to Dong Nai for the festival. The festival also includes an exhibition on cherry flowers and Vietnamese and Japanese culture. Many Japanese films will air on TV during the event. The Spring-Summer 2016 Fashion Week kicked off recently in Ho Chi Minh City, showcasing new collections from both famous Vietnamese and international designers. Audiences and critics were impressed by the creativity of the collections. We have more in the following reports.
Like Mia, a unique type of silk in Vietnam, along with the traditional ba ba shirt from Vietnam's southern region, appeared in the show like never before. The designs are simplified and blended different types of materials like Mia silk, chiffon and satin with skillful tailoring techniques. Lúa or rice, the newest collection from designer Công Chi, showed that beauty and practicality can go hand in hand.
Ce qu'est le Vietnam aujourd'hui d'une manière très diverse. D'abord, on a eu Công Chi. À mes yeux, c'est la meilleure collection de Công Chi qu'il ait fait de toutes celles que je connais. Pourquoi?
Designer Corey Chen brought something different to the show. The material he uses is Hakata ori from Japan, handmade and used primarily for kimono making. With black being the main color, Chen used strong colors like red and yellow to put more emphasis on his designs and create strong visuals. His collection Tokyo Dream showcased a mixture of Western and Eastern influences.
Tôi cảm thấy rất là vui mừng. Chúng ta nhìn thấy sự tiến bộ vượt bậc của các nhà thiết kế Việt Nam. Hy vọng rằng là bước kế tiếp của thời trang Việt Nam sẽ là thời trang về chất liệu chứ không phải là kiểu dáng như hiện nay nữa.
Appearing in Vietnam 100 years ago, silk paintings were one of the major trends in Vietnamese traditional arts. Although this silk pictorial art is not as popular now, it still survives and holds a certain positions in people's life. Now, in this week's edition of Culture and Lifestyle, let's find out how the art fares today.
Silk painting is a popular form of art in several Asian countries, including China, Japan, and Vietnam. In Vietnam, the art reached its peak of success during the 1930s with late artist Nguyễn Phan Chánh. However, few painters practice the art today because it's hard for both painters and collectors to preserve these works. Lê Thúy is one of a few young artists who still follow the art of silk painting.
Tôi có sự ám ảnh về không gian, về nơi chốn, về những cái chiều hướng không gian khác nhau. Tôi đặt mình vào những cái không gian khác nhau để tò mò thể nghiệm khám phá cái bản thân mình trong cái không gian đấy thì tôi sẽ có cái cảm giác gì, có cái thái độ gì và cũng ngầm trong những cái không gian đấy tôi thể hiện cái thái độ của tôi đối với cuộc sống.
The quality of a painting depends on what silk and colors that painter chooses. As Thúy shares, there are many difficulties for young artists who pursue silk painting like her.
Cái tài liệu để cho cái việc vẽ tranh đấy thì nó không có, mà mình phải vừa làm vừa thể nghiệm và tìm tòi ra như thế thôi. Để vẽ ra một bức tranh lụa thì trước tiên là cái phần quan trọng nhất tức là lựa chọn lụa. Lụa được dệt cho vẽ tranh thì là cái chất liệu lụa là tơ sống. Bước thứ hai tức là mình có một cái sashi, mình căng lụa lên trên sashi. Bước thứ ba tức là mình chọn màu, những các cái màu vẽ trong tranh lụa tức là màu tự nhiên, đa phần là màu tự nhiên này và màu nước. Tôi hy vọng là nghệ thuật cái tranh lụa nó không đến với mọi người một cách là khuôn khổ như kiểu xem một bức tranh, mà nó đến với mọi người một cách rất là tự nhiên.
silk, color, and paintbrush. Bring along these materials. Let's go with us and we will introduce you another aspect of silk painting. Let's see what it is.
This is a special silk painting class where students not only learn to draw but also learn to make usable products. Phạm Kiều Phúc is working on home decor. She holds the class and is also a member of the class. Aside from creating, she wants to inspire people and is most focused on making the artwork applicable.
Lụa cũng như các lớp khác thì đều được đặt ở dưới góc độ là ứng dụng. Ví dụ như nó có thể là một cái khăn hay là một cái đèn lồng. Cái đấy tôi nghĩ là cái niềm vui mà tự tay mình làm ra một cái gì đó là một cái thứ mà nó là bị thiếu trong cái xã hội hiện đại. Chúng ta gần như là không tự tạo ra các cái sản phẩm nữa. Chúng ta chỉ có đi mua thôi. Và chúng ta quên mất cái niềm vui mà khi mà mình tự làm á.
Kiểu tô tràn giống như dạo trước ấy. Bây giờ mình tô những các cái chi tiết nó kiểu nó phải cần nhiều.
Most of the students here are now working in the field of art and don't know how to draw before taking a class. Taking part in this class, they had the chance to not only learn a traditional art in a modern way, but also find balance in their life.
Thì rất là vui vẻ và thích thú. Mình có những cái khoảng thời gian thư giãn mình không nghĩ tới những chuyện bực bội ở ngoài xã hội. Nó làm cho mình tập trung trong vài tiếng đồng hồ rồi tập trung hết vào một cái sản phẩm của mình. Học những kỹ thuật mới. Và các bạn học ở đây cũng đều là những người rất là nghệ thuật và vui vẻ.
The bygone art is continuing to be preserved in many different ways, and in this way, it is getting closer to daily life and grows together with the development of other Vietnamese arts.
You're tuning in to Culture Mosaic, a weekly journal featuring the rich cultural diversity of Vietnam and vibrant international culture events happening in the country. We do hope to become the bridge connecting artists and their works with our viewers out there. So don't go away, we have a lot more in this week's installment coming for you in just a moment. Now, Hallelujah is a famous dance group from Israel. They made a career out of performing in many stages in the world. And as part of this year's Huế Festival, the group came to Vietnam. Well, they offer audiences a multitude of dance styles and a wide selection of modern folkloric and character dances. Let's find out more about these talents in this week's On the Mic.
The Hallelujah dance group was formed in 1988 by choreographer and artistic director Barry Avidan. The group has appeared on many TV channels and many stages around the world. This, however, is the first time they have performed in Vietnam. Before the performance at the opening ceremony of the Huế Festival 2016, the band offered Vietnamese audiences a performance entitled The Spirit of Israel at Hanoi's Opera House.
Welcome to Vietnam and thank you for joining us on the mic today. So Hallelujah Dance has been famous in Israel and the world for its youthful spirit, love of dance, and diversified repertoire. So can you explain a bit more about the spirit of Israel in the dance?
The Hallelujah Dance Group has a program that combines a lot of dances that came from cultures and nations in all over the world. Since almost 70 years ago that we had our independence, and when we came back, many Jewish people came from different countries. And now we are trying to make our new culture and folklore with our old and ancient history. you can find in our program dancers, very serious dancers from East Europe and North Africa, side to humor dances, which are very light and joyful and happy, that we believe that everybody has to be happy and enjoy life.
So how could you combine the contemporary creation with the traditional ethnic influences of Israel?
I try to create dances that have influences from the contemporary dance and also a little from modern dance, but a lot from the folk dances. And in our time in Israel, there are many places that thousands of people dancing folk dances. And I took those dances and I put them on the stage. Like we have another dance which is very humoristic. It's 4 couples. First they came from Romania, then they came from Poland, then they came from Italy, and then they came from Yemen. They came in a party, but they want to express their dance. Like one say, see how it is the valse dance, and the other one says, see how is the Krakowiak dance. I'm sure that you will find it very funny.
Quadrille in a party was indeed a highlight of the performance by the Israeli dancers. The dance inspired by humor and based on the diverse cultures of different Jewish communities in Israel. The audience of the Hanoi Opera House were thrilled by the youthful spirit and modern folkloric and character dances with a touch of humor, tradition, and ethnicity.
As you will see from the dance, it presents different aspects of Israelis. It shows you that we're a country of migrants with the influences in our dances. It shows you the tradition that we come from, the religion we come from.
Different dancing styles were presented, including rows, couples, and solos. Through the multitude of dance styles, each dancer has become an ambassador who brings the culture and traditions closer to Vietnamese audiences.
It's a very good opportunity for us as dancers and as Israelis to come and visit a different culture. It's very different from ours, and it's a very good chance to bring you our culture and to see the combination and the differences and the good similarities.
We're trying to send to the audience the spirit of be happy and let's dance. You will see us, we are very happy to dance, we are very happy to perform, and we hope the audience will like us and will join us and smile with us and will be happy with us.
Despite the cultural differences, the audiences enjoyed the joyful dances. Through the performance, they also got to know more about the cultural diversity of Israel.
I think they portrayed a lot of the different groups in Israel with their different traditions coming from different parts of the world. So it was a very nice performance.
I really enjoyed the performance today. I also learned more about the traditions of Israel. I find it very interesting.
Tôi cảm thấy buổi trình diễn hôm nay rất là tuyệt, tại vì là biết thêm về một số nét văn hóa của đất nước Israel. Tôi cảm thấy rất là vui.
After the 1-hour-long performance, the audience got to travel through many places of Israel and experience the best parts of its culture. This is a great opportunity to reinforce the friendship between Israel and Vietnam.
So the dances of Israel is not so familiar with Vietnamese audiences. So how do you plan to captivate these new audiences?
I try to interest the audience in interesting choreography and in interesting stories, dancing stories. I looked a little in your culture, in your Vietnamese culture, and I wanted to see what the Vietnamese would like more. And I saw that Vietnamese are smiling a lot. So I wanted to make them smile during the show.
So I can see you created the most spectacular costume for the performance in Vietnam. So can you share with us what new ingredients are you bringing to the audience in this Hallelujah dance?
And when we came to Vietnam, I designed a costume, Hao Zai costume, which is a combination between the Jewish symbols, the Israeli symbols, and the Hao Zai, which is very Vietnamic. The main purpose of this show is to show friendship. Yeah, to show friendship. That's why I designed the Hao Zai. I take a lot from our ancient tradition and history. I use a lot the Bible, which is our history. It has a lot of symbols that I can take and use in our dances. For example, the menorah. The menorah is one of our important symbol, which came from our holy temple 2,000 years ago when it was destroyed, and since then we keep this symbol until today.
So through the performance, what message do you want to deliver to the Vietnamese audience?
First of all, friendship. We are friends. We have a very good relationship between Israel and Vietnam. And most of all, we want to deliver our peace to the world, our peace to everybody, and especially friendship and love and peace with the Vietnamese people.
So what are your plans for the future?
We hope to come back here to Hanoi again and again, and to show you other programs. This program is very folkloric, but we have other programs that they express like in a musical.
Thank you for your time and hope to see you again in Hanoi.
Board games, which are widely played in many Western countries, are becoming increasingly popular in Vietnam in recent years. These games have been especially appealing to families, providing a good reason to get together and also inspiring cheerful rivalry. In this week's Connecting Culture, we find out how these famous board games are now finding fans in Vietnam.
Board games are those played on a flat surface, usually a table, using objects such as cards, dice or kettle pieces, and thus there's no equivalent term in Vietnamese. They appeared in the world long ago using simple objects like stones. In Vietnam, party and Chinese chess were well known decades ago, well before people had even heard of the term board game. However, over the past few years, board games have become more popular in the country, with a community of thousands of players. They play hundreds of games in the coffee shops in big cities like Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City.
Bây giờ board game khá là phổ biến với giới trẻ, nên là thông qua sự giới thiệu của bạn bè thì được biết đến.
Tình cờ đám bạn mình đưa đến cà phê rồi tham gia những game nó khá là thú vị ở quán và mới đầu tìm hiểu thêm về nó và chơi.
Board games can be classified in different ways. In terms of the objects used in the games, there are two main types. One contains only cards, while others use different objects, such as dice, character species, or cards on the drawn board. They can also be classified based on their content.
Board game thì nó chia tiếp thành là các game economic, tức là game kinh tế, các game về D&D, tức là game đánh với cả quái vật cùng nhau cứu thế giới hoặc cứu một công chúa ở một vương quốc nào đó. Và ngoài ra còn có những cái game đơn giản hơn, nó gọi là game for family, hoặc là nghĩa là game cho gia đình, hoặc là những game để chơi một phần cho vui để giải trí.
Based on the playing method, board games can also be categorized into role-playing games or games of simple competition. No matter what type of game people choose, players can all enjoy a friendly and entertaining atmosphere with their friends and family. Everyone can play board games regardless of age, gender, or job. With several players at the same time, board games create a space for people to communicate with each other and have fun together.
Các bạn có thể đi cà phê, có thể ngồi nói chuyện với cả bạn bè, có thêm được cái giao tiếp với mọi người, không còn phải ngồi để chơi điện thoại. Và với mình cảm thấy cái này là một thứ rất là văn minh.
Board games have gained the love of many Vietnamese people, and they also help players enhance their critical thinking, strategic development, and other skills. Though it sometimes requires some luck to win a match, players often need to convince others or think about the best move to make, otherwise they will lose the game.
Sau khi chơi board game xong thì mình cảm thấy là cái cách mình suy luận sự việc ấy, và cách nhìn nhận mọi thứ đều nó trở nên tốt hơn, và mình cảm thấy tự tin khi mà chơi trò này đến bây giờ.
Most board games played in Vietnam have come from overseas, usually from Europe or the US. Therefore, the language barrier causes difficulties for local players to access those games. In order to overcome this, some games have been translated into Vietnamese.
In order to make them easier for Vietnamese players, some of them have been changed. For example, in Monopoly, places of Vietnam such as Lenin Park or the Old Quarter are used instead of cities in the world such as New York or Broadway in the US.
In Monopoly, local players have changed its board to contain Vietnamese locations to make it easier to remember and play the game well. Despite the simple objects used, players can have some fun with friends and family anytime, anywhere. The more people are enrolled, the more fun they will have.
And those exciting board games have just concluded this edition of Culture Mosaic. We welcome all of your comments and suggestions at culturemosaic@vtv.vn. And you can also rewatch our programs online at vtv4.vn or youtube.com/vtv4go. So don't forget to join us next week for another edition of Culture Mosaic. This is Lan Anh, and goodbye for now.